Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are just going to talk about time filters, how to add time filters to your Forex robots using Fxdreema. And there are a lot of robots that we've been creating using this EA builder, Fxdreema EA builder. It's a very easy and convenient facility to use if you want to turn your own Forex strategy into a robot without paying anybody and without learning any coding. You can simply turn your strategy into a robot. Then you can sell it, or you can make more money from it, whatever you choose to do, as long as your robot is based on a mechanical system. For example, you are looking for MACD to do this, or you are looking for Bollinger Bands to do that, or you are looking for moving averages to do this, for price to do that on the chart. You can basically turn that strategy into a Forex robot. Forex robots do not do well, of course, with strategies that require discretion on the trader, or like intuition, like gut feel. You cannot program a robot with a strategy that relies on gut feel. Okay, if you are new on this channel, definitely subscribe. That's how you are not going to miss any of our future videos. So go ahead and subscribe, like the video. You don't lose anything by just liking the video, but it means the world to me when people are liking the video, because I get to know when people are liking the content that I'm putting out. Everything that we do on this channel is definitely for free, so the least that you can do for me is to like the video. For downloading robots, indicators, books and stuff like that, there are links in the description box below. Visit those links and see if you cannot find what you are looking for. The broker that I use, many people also ask me about that. The link is in the description box below. One of the best brokers in the world. I've been with them for more than 5 years now and have not had any problems regarding deposits and withdrawals. And for just $5 you can open a real life trading account, which you can use to test your robots, your systems and your strategies without risking too much capital at first. Then if the robot is making money, then you can always give it more capital to see what it does. Okay, so see the link in the description box below. Now, getting back to our video, the topic of today. So what you want to do if you are looking for time filters on Fxdreema. For example, you probably have a robot that you want to create specifically for news time, to trade news time, or you have a robot that you want to switch off when it comes to news time, or you want a robot that turns off at a certain time of the day when for example, end of the day, when the what do you call it, spread, when it kind of widens as we go into the next trading day. Maybe for any reason whatsoever, you just want to you want your robot to trade a certain time, and you want to switch it to switch off a certain time. So how do we do that? So Fxdreema basically has these various blocks and signals that you can basically use to create your robot. So the good thing is they actually have a section which says time filters. So you can basically use these filters. You can basically go to town with all these filters to create a robot that trades only a certain time and is switched off a certain time automatically. You don't need to do anything for that. So in the ideal situation, you probably say you want a robot that just buys. Let's say the first thing that you probably want to do, what I always do is, of course, we have a no trade block at first. Again, this robot is not a proper robot, so don't come back and say this robot doesn't work, this robot blew my account and stuff like that. I'm just showing you an example of how to use time filters. So we probably just want a robot that just buys. So what we can do is, we have the first block that I have there, which I usually use, no trade. We which I want the robot to check that there are no prior trades on the chart, or that it has placed, so that I don't fill my chart with 1,000 trades in case your account cannot handle the drawdown and the margin. So you just want the robot to trade a single position every time, not 1,000 positions, which puts your account at great risk. So a very important block to use. Now if there are no trades, you can also simply just come here. Here we've got the hourly filter. There's a question mark there that you can basically click on, and basically the hours filter, you can define up to 4 periods of hours in the day where this block is allowed to pass. So that's how you get to understand what's happening here. There's always a question mark there. If you just click it, it pops up a window, and you can basically understand what's going on. So here we have our no trade, but we can basically use a time filter here, the block that says time filter. Then we just link the two there. We double click, we go in there. Now you decide for yourself whether you want to use a saver time, like basically your broker, the time on your broker saver, or your local time. Let's say for example myself, I'm in South Africa, so it's usually GMT +2, but maybe my broker, they are using GMT, the normal GMT, which is probably 0. So usually you find that when it's probably 9 o'clock for me in South Africa, then for my broker it's probably actually 6 o'clock, or it's probably 4 o'clock for them. So you want to understand that time difference between where you are on the globe and where the broker savers are on the or what time they have on their saver, so that you basically anticipate news. You can basically anticipate major events and stuff like that. So decide for yourself what works best for you. Some people, they use saver time because they are quick with math, and they can quickly understand if my broker saver is 4 o'clock, then definitely where I am, it's 9 o'clock or it's 10 o'clock. They can quickly do the math. But for me, I usually try to use local time. So you can use local time, GMT. Here it says saver time is the time of the broker, the time in the candles. Then local time is the time of your computer's clock. Then GMT is your local time converted to GMT. So just understand that when you are calculating what time you want the robot to wake up and what time you want your robot to go to sleep. So don't just go local time because I put local time here, but if you understand local time, the time that's on your computer, local time is the time on your computer, so I'm going to just use the time on my computer. Then obviously start time mode, it depends. Again, you can just click here if you don't understand anything. Start time is the oldest time of the time period you want to match. Then start time, here you can basically, these are valid examples of the time to use. Okay, so you can basically use the default. I'm just going to keep the default, and let's just click that so that we hide that. Then that's the default. So the default start time, I would want to keep it at 12 midnight for when the new day starts. Then end time, when do you want the robot to stop trading? Maybe I would say, for example, maybe we say 2300 for me, maybe 2300 for me, so that I allow for the widening of spreads to be when the time is going to clock over to the new trading day. Or maybe here I can make it 01, so 1 a.m. up to 11 o'clock at night, that's only the time that I want the robot to trade, because I'm trying to avoid the robot taking trades when the spread widens as we clock over into the new trading day. So that's basically it, and we updated. Then from there you can start adding your either your conditions, or you can even simply bring in your buy button there. And so between uh, between 1 a.m. and 11 p.m. my time, local time, South African time, the robot is going to place a buy. That's what's going to happen here. Of course, you can add more conditions here, but I'm just giving you as an example for the time filter. So between 1 a.m. and 11 p.m. is going to close to open a buy, and it's going to be a single buy. Why? Because of no trade, because I'm limiting my robot to make sure that before it opens a new trade, there is no open trade already. So because my buy now button there, of course, maybe if it's triggered, if the stop loss or TP is triggered, then it's going to open a new trade. But if this position, if a position has been opened and neither the stop loss or the take profit has been triggered, then it's just going to be that single buy position for the entire day, because of what? Of this block that says the robot must first of all ensure that there are no open trades that it placed before it can open a new position. So that's basically it regarding time filters. That gives you the starting point of time filters. There are also these hours filters. You can basically tell the robot when to start, when to, for example, here that's the first period that you want it to open trades, and the second hours block, use it. So if you want the robot to trade maybe from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m., then skip and open again between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. Or then you want it to skip again and you want it to open another time, maybe 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., stuff like that. So there are many time filter tools that have been made available by Fxdreema there. You can basically test them out, and let me just delete that. And you can basically test them out and see what works for you. Once a day, maybe you just want the robot to place a trade once a day, so you basically remove this. Let's delete that. You basically put in there once a day. So what the robot is going to do is once a day it's going to place a buy once a day. Now you also decide whether you want to use safer time or local time or GMT. And hours filter, maybe you want it to only place that trade at 1 a.m. Then you just put in the time that you want the once a day trade to happen, and whether it's a buy or a sell, whatever you choose to do. So that's the time filter once a day there. Then obviously there are hours, there are minutes. Basically it's up to you. There are seconds, there even per ticks, once per bar, once an hour. You can basically like go to town with all these time filters. It's for people who really want to hone into a specific time that they want their robot to trade. So maybe once per a certain number of minutes, you can double click and you go in there. After every 20 minutes you want the robot to buy, so that would be what you'll be doing. After every 20 minutes the robot would be buying. And if you go to once an hour, after every hour, again I'll be using local time, or maybe at once per hour at a certain minute. So you decide within the hour which minute do you want the robot to place this buy or this sell. whatever you want to do. Then you basically just link the thing together and you get your robot. So play around with these filters, and basically you can get some good time filters. That's for people who don't want their robot to be on the whole time. Maybe they're afraid of news, they're afraid of some market event that's coming up, so they just want the robot to automatically shut off during those times. For example, NFP and things like that, those are kind of standard. You already know that NFP is going to come at this such and such a time every month, so you can always program your robot ahead of time to avoid that news. So yeah, this is time filter. Play around with it. If you have any questions, I'll surely try and answer them. Otherwise, guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. I know that things seem bad, but they could be much worse. There's always someone else who has a